I got laid off. Is that even the right word? Can you use layoff when you're talking about retail? I got laid off, or they had to let go of me. After 2 months, exactly, working at my job, they abruptly had to let me go due to downsizing. And so many feelings, y'all. When they told me on the spot. They were like, today or tomorrow, because I had a shift the next day, is going to be your last day. And first, my heart just dropped, sank. Like, this is just so abrupt, it felt so last minute, very on the spot. It wasn't like at the end of the month or next week, it was tomorrow. And also my employee discount as well. So I was like, can't even let my employee discount go for like another week or something. It sucked. It definitely sucked to be told that. I think I was more, obviously when something like that so just on the spot happens, it's a lot to process. Like, oh my gosh, tomorrow is my last day. And the thing was, my shift for the next day wasn't even my shift. My coworker had given me that shift. So if I had not picked up that shift that day, would have been my last day when they had told me. And it's so interesting to just feel so many different things at once. So many, just because on one hand I was pretty upset, but I think I was more upset of how just abrupt it was. It was just like, today's your last day or tomorrow's your last day. And on the other hand, I felt my life literally as they were telling me in the office, that as they were firing me in the office, they're talking to me. In my head, I'm like, wow, I feel like my life is opening up even more right now, even though I'm getting fired. Even though who knows when the next time I'm going to have fixed, predictable source of income. I felt like my life was opening up. I wasn't too surprised that they had to let me go just because of how reduced my hours became for the month of January. Like in December, it was busy. I was working like the maximum hours, which is about 16 for my role because I had a flex position. It was supposed to be 14, but I was working up to 16. And then January came, I was scheduled 3 hours a week. Yes, it was upsetting and I was pretty sad about my employee discount, but honestly, I wasn't gonna last there in that position for a long time. The hours had really started to catch up or take a toll on my body. This was an operations stocking kind of role, very early in the morning, shifts from as early as 5-6 a.m. And that meant I was waking up around 3 and 4 a.m. and then commuting about 20 minutes to the store. And then when I got off in the day, my commute doubled because everyone else was on the road. So it would take me about 20-25 minutes to get to the store before the sun even came up, and then on my way home it would take me about 40 minutes. Those early hours really started to just catch up on my body, and it was really starting to take a physical toll on me. So, and another thing, even though I was flexible position, which means my hours could range anywhere from 3 hours a week to 14 hours a week, the conflict of interest still applies. So since I worked at this beauty store, I could not work at other beauty stores that were competitors or could be competitors. So even though, most of my background was in the beauty industry, it was hard to find another job because I couldn't apply for other jobs in other cosmetic and other beauty stores. So when they were letting me go, firing me, I was like, I can now apply to those stores because I couldn't before, and those stores have part-time roles, or they give more hours. That was also in one way I felt like my life was opening up, or just the options, the possibilities were opening up. Part of me is glad that they were the ones to do it, to end my time, my labor there. Honestly, this is what I asked for. I remember when I started this job and how early it was and how tired I was right after because I'd wake up so early, and even when I went to sleep early, it was just a very big adjustment on my body. And I literally asked the universe, I miss my time. I miss being awake at night in the silence and just being with my thoughts and reflecting, or even working, because I'm just more productive at night with whatever I have to get done. I told the universe, I want my time back. I want my time back. I don't mind waking up early, but I want my slow mornings again. I want my slow mornings at home when I can journal, do morning pages, and stretch and cook breakfast. I miss those. And the universe has funny ways of delivering what we want, and sometimes it comes in the form of this. So yeah, I am jobless again, and I'm just applying to other jobs that might interest me, and environments, places, positions that I could learn new skills in. Let's try this, see if I like it, what can I learn. So yeah, I've been sending in some applications here and there. I also started volunteering somewhere. Very fun, very exciting, very beautiful. This is a place that I'm very familiar with. I've been to this place since I was a little girl, and been going to this place since I was a little girl. So I'm trying something new as a volunteer, specifically gardening. Not gardening like gardening, but gardening as in, earth, being with earth. I had been wanting to just connect with earth in some way, but also I hate dirt, or like I hate touching dirt. I like earth. I like to sit amongst the trees and the mountains and by the ocean, but I'm not the type to walk barefoot in the park. I'm not the type to roll down the hill of grass. I love earth, but not when I'm covered in earth. Anyways, I thought, why don't I just send an application? That's the first step. Just fill out the application, send it, go to the info sessions, and if I get it, then this is a chance to connect with earth and learn something new. Learn something new, experience something new. And if I don't get it, that's okay. We can wait till the next term of volunteering and see what positions they have available. Anyways, I got accepted for this term, and I'm learning how to garden. I was journaling about how symbolic all of this was, being fired / laid off. I'm gonna use laid off. Being laid off on the new moon. My last day was on the new moon, or right before the new moon in Capricorn, which was January 18th. That was my last day at work. And I had started volunteering technically yesterday. January 21 was my first official day. Last week I had orientation, but yesterday was my first official day on the grounds, in the garden, getting my hands dirty. And I thought it was just all so symbolic, like my last day at the job being right before the new moon. Like, I don't know. It was just, during like that ending phase, like during that ending phase of the waning crescent before new moon. It just felt so symbolic. And between that time period, especially this week from Sunday through Monday and Tuesday, so many planets were transitioning from Capricorn into Aquarius. And y'all, you are looking at a super Aquarius, okay? I have 5 planets in Aquarius in my 12th house. All the planets right now are conjunct all of my planets. Natally, I have Sun, Moon, Venus, Neptune, Uranus. Those are my planets in Aquarius. I also have Fortune in Aquarius. So everything just felt so symbolic. My last shift was right before the new moon. And then all these planets are moving into my sign. And then I also started my first official day as a gardener when Aquarius season started. It was just also symbolic, and like I said, I felt like my life was opening up already, and I couldn't even be mad. I have been practicing embodying this attitude of expansiveness, possibility, what's next. Instead of cowering into fear and scarcity and worrying, really tapping into that childlike wonder, flirting with life, getting a taste of everything, not mentally getting ahead of myself and jumping to conclusions before I've even tried something. Oh, yes. And then another thing, too, that happened within those past few days, I went to a store to get something so I can learn something. I don't want to say what that thing is yet, but it's something that my heart, it's something that my heart really calls for, especially when it comes to expression, self-expression, and feelings. So I went to a store instead of ordering online. I went to the store so I could just familiarize myself with the environment of this thing I want to learn slash pursue. And that was also so symbolic for me too, because that was the first day of Aquarius season. Yeah, I'm back in the void. I don't even know if it's the void or if I'm just flowing with life, flowing with presence, flowing through and with uncertainty. I have been watching my favorite YouTuber. She is a medium, and something that she has been saying these past few months that resonates so strongly with me, I might make it my lock screen is arrive empty so that you may be filled. And I have just been carrying that with me. You know, even when I left my job, or when my job released me, I wasn't mad. You know, I was like, I arrived empty. This was my first retail job. I arrived empty. I learned stuff, and I'm leaving fulfilled, like internally, but also I got my goodie bag. I worked at a beauty store, by the way. My goodie bag of products. And same thing too with gardening. The imposter syndrome was kind of high because I had zero gardening experience, even though this position didn't require any gardening experience. But yeah, I was like, okay girl, stop stressing, just arrive empty and allow yourself to be filled. And that is just such a beautiful message that I have been sitting with and trying to live and embody through these past few months. And you know, every time my favorite medium posts a YouTube video, I try to listen to it ASAP because she is just so tapped into her collective. Her name is Jadina, I don't know her last name. I will leave her channel in the description below. I'll link her channel because she is just phenomenal, y'all. She's just so phenomenal. Everything that she says really speaks to me. Arrive empty so that you may be filled. And that reminder that when I'm trying something new, just telling myself this is new. It's not hard. It may be uncomfortable, but it's uncomfortable because it's new. But that doesn't mean it's hard. It doesn't mean it's not safe. It's just something new. And even too, with the people I've met at my volunteer site, we had to do, you know, a little bit of talking, chit-chatting, get to know each other. A lot of the people I work with are a bit older than me, you know. I want to say there are not a lot of people in their 20s. There seems to be a good amount 35 and up. Something that I have been doing is just being more vulnerable with them in terms of just sharing, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I thought I wanted this. I went to school for this. The job market sucks, and it turns out maybe I don't even want that. So now I'm flirting with life and getting experience, and it's just so refreshing too to have those different perspectives, especially from people with more life experience as you, to, you know, encourage you. Yeah, go ahead and try different things. You know, I tell my kids the same thing, and that's just so, it's just so, what I'm trying to say here is that I told myself I want to experience life and the fullness of it. I want to experience life. I want to connect with others. I want to truly live and feel everything. And in order to do that, you've got to take the risk. Some people may call it a risk, others, it's not that much of a risk, of being vulnerable, of being open, sharing with others where you are, where you're at, instead of putting up a mask and pretending you've got it all together when really you don't have it all together. And it's okay if you don't have it all together, and it's okay to admit that to yourself and even to others around you. It's kind of like that saying, you haven't met everyone who is going to love you in this life. You haven't met everyone yet who's going to love you. I'm not saying that my fellow volunteer peers are going to love me, but like I said, these are people with more life experience than me, and these are people who are outside of my house, outside of the bubble I was raised in and the beliefs I am outgrowing. Being open to our differences and what they may have to say, advice to give, suggestions to give in my situation, I'm just opening myself up to that and what life is going to give me. But in order to do that, I have to take that risk of being vulnerable and sharing my thoughts, my feelings even. Like, in order to receive, I gotta give a bit. I gotta give a bit. I was raised to, this is what I'm gonna do. This is how life works. You stay here, you get a job, you're in your job forever, basically. Like, it's very narrow-minded. And me personally, I don't like that. I want to get, I'm in this phase where I'm ready to go out of hermit mode, because I've been in hermit mode this whole past year, but I'm ready to just go out and experience, flirt with life and experience things and just try things, and just not be scared, and to even share those things with complete strangers and to have them cheering me on is just it's so beautiful, really. Different from my family, different from even the friends that I had. I feel like I went on a tangent and I'm reviewing what I want to say, if I've mentioned everything, but what's next? What's next? Oh my goodness. What's next, y'all? I feel like my life is opening up. I really do. I don't know if it's because all those planets are conjunct all my planets right now, but even then, this season, this Aquarius season hits so different, because typically I hate my birthday. Typically I don't celebrate myself. I shrink, I hide, I cry, I'm sad. Not just during my birthday, but honestly during Saturn season, as soon as Capricorn season starts mid-December, I'm usually just very gloomy. But this year it's hitting different. Maybe it's because I'm about to enter my first house perfection year. Because this past year, my 12th house perfection year, it was gruesome. It was beautifully painful, but you cannot pay me to live it again, So I'm coming out of my 12th house perfection year into my first house perfection year. And during a year one, 2026 is a year one in numerology. And it's going to be the year of the horse soon. So kind of excited for that energy, because natally I am also year of the snake. So year of the snake, 12th house stellium, 12th house perfection year. During 2025 was a year 9. It was really endings, surrender, hermit mode. And now I'm ready to go out of my shell soon. I don't know, I just feel like something is coming, and I'm gonna just keep doing me until it comes, and share it with y'all. And So yeah, that is what I wanted to share. That is where I am as of lately, as of recently, most recently. So like, comment, subscribe, save, share, repost. And I'll see you all in my next video. I love you so much. Take care, stay fabulous. I love you so much.